G'day and welcome to Aussievision. I'm Dale and I am joined by the incredible duo who are our new commentators for SBS and Australia at Eurovision. It is Courtney and Tony Armstrong. Welcome to Aussievision.
Good to see you, Dale.
Thanks so much for joining us. Now, look, Courtney, Tony, you would have had quite the whirlwind of a day. I've seen so many media appearances. You started very early in the morning. Look, what's it been like so far, and what's the reaction been like as well?
Tony's been in hair and makeup since 3:30 a.m. You will see a smattering.
And I still look like this.
You will see a smattering of glitter on his face. I would just like to say that is not due to me. We were answering questions earlier. There was a jar full of glitter. It got messy. But we've been having a fun day. We've been to ABC, we've been to SBS, we've been to Channel 9, we've been to Channel 7, Channel 10. We've done it all, and we're excited.
Yeah, it's been good. And I suppose as the day's gone on, we've had more and more fun. But yeah, I mean, it feels like I haven't seen much of the online stuff, but apparently it's all going pretty well, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We even saw ourselves organically on the front page of the Sydney Morning Herald.
That was quite the moment. It's quite funny, media's moved in such a different way, but you see yourself in like heritage, traditional media. You see yourself on the front page of a paper, and you're like, "Oh, it's legit."
We made it.
It's what your mum and dads love, right? They always love the print stuff from it all. Now, look, yeah.
So I could cut it off and put it in a scrapbook.
Yeah, that's starting to timestamp yourself. Don't say that.
Well, look, it's great there's getting so much coverage. You love to see Eurovision out there in the mainstream. And look, what I also liked was the promo video you two did together, the Back to the Future thing. Mm-hmm. And I think what's really obvious and what fans have been sort of saying is that you two seem to have fantastic chemistry together. And I heard you talk this morning, I think it might have been Tony saying that you guys had a chemistry test together. Can you tell us what that was about? What was the process?
Well, just quickly before Courtney actually gets in, we are notoriously both hard to work with, so that was why they wanted a chemistry test us.
All right, we're gonna put them together, and we'll see what kind of sparks fly. They knew they'd be sparks, but they wanted to make sure that they were the right Eurovision coloured ones, and I think they are. We're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, like a day like this is quite.
You're like, yeah.
No. Like it is quite like today can be like a pretty solid day of like questions and bounce, but that's when you really stress test like what a relationship is going to be like on screen. And I'm only finding Courtney funnier and more fun to be around, so that's got to be good, right?
No, it sounds fantastic. And look, also, this is obviously such a big gig to kind of go into. How important is it to get that chemistry right between you two? To be in that little box in Basel, how important is it for the commentary?
Basel. Is that how you say it? Can you tell us?
Well, that's how I say it.
Well, is that how you say it? Because we don't know either.
No, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it.
Basel.
I'm gonna imagine H after the A.
Basel.
But no, you are right, Dale. Having someone to lean on in the box, like it's, they're decent broadcasts. Like it's a decent amount of time to air. So being able to help each other out, like I think that's the beauty of broadcasting when you're working with people you trust. You're able to
pass the ball back and forth, to use a sports metaphor.
Yes. I've demanded one of them every interview for Courtney.
This is the first time I've kicked a goal. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a wonderful.
Now, Courtney, this feels like a natural progression for yourself. We had Eurovision Australia Decides 2019, Fight for Love, great track. And then we obviously had you take part last year as the sort of roving reporter and doing the interviews and getting people in bed, etc.
Get my part in 2020.
Of course, yes, of course. Now, Now, did you have was there any trepidation about stepping up to take on this commentary role, or were you like, you know what, let me at it, I want it?
No, I was excited, very excited, especially after being there last year with Joel and Miff, seeing how it all worked, getting to understand the process and sort of just be in awe. It's exciting to go back this year to host and to bring Tony along for the ride.
And Tony, you were the surprise packet, I think, from the announcement. I think a lot of people guess you, Courtney, because, there was this natural progression. Now, a lot of people are very excited about you two and very excited about yourself, Tony. But there are some people going, Tony, the sport background and coming into Eurovision, is this something that comes together? Like, what do you think you can bring to the Eurovision sphere?
Well, it is a big competition with millions of eyeballs looking at it, right? That's every single global sporting competition. So there's already that in common. But I think as well, obviously Courtney has got more of a history and an affinity with it, but I've really come to enjoy it as well. And I think the way I will look at it will be through fresher, newer eyes. And there are going to be viewers at home that aren't rusted on either. There's going to be viewers at home who are going to be watching it for the first time. And if I can ask the questions or I can point out the things that they're seeing and they're like, well, why is no one talking about that? I mean, that's only making the broadcast more rounded. So whilst I would never profess to be an expert at like the high end, like Courtney, I would absolutely say, yes, Courtney, I called you an expert. Yes, I would say I will be able to be a conduit to a big portion of our viewership who also are like watching on going,
especially because we want
what's happening,
eyeballs.
And I think me bouncing off Courtney, asking those questions is doing the service of the viewer who doesn't know at home.
Yeah, because when you get two people who like have too much inside knowledge,
then it gets deep and like it's like a hat on a hat on a hat.
Yeah.
And it's like awesome if you know what's happening, but you can very quickly ostracize a whole heap of your audience.
Yeah.
So I think that's where my biggest value add will be.
Tony's the people's Eurovision
champ, I suppose. I mean, I've said that, but no one's pushed back on it. So
we can make it happen. We can make it happen. And look, I totally love it because look, I'm a raving gay, but also a massive sports fan. So I love the camp and I love the sports and the analysis. So this is a match made in heaven for me. And I heard you two talking about Milkshake Man earlier today, and the analysis you were both providing, like it was already like this is great. What do you actually think of this year's entry? You're a bit of a fan from what I heard.
That's a good song. So much fun.
Great song.
Irreverent.
Well, serious.
Sexy.
I'm supposed to say something. Yeah. My brain's a bit cooked. I guess what I will say, and this is something I have been saying, when I think about competitions like this, you so often think about why someone won't win. But with Gojo, I'm only thinking about reasons as to why he will.
Yeah.
Like the look, the sound, the vibe.
I think it'll come down to the performance and the production.
The execution on the day, yeah.
We know that Gojo's a really good performer. Like, Gojo, at his core, is a performer. Like, there's some artists who are, like, studio singers, but Gojo's, like, out there with his guitar on the beach, like, busking, entertaining, and he knows how to hype up a crowd. And I think, having been there last year, that's such an important element.
And that'll only hold him in good stead, for sure.
Yeah.
Indeed. Now, look, what does things look like for you two for now? We're only just over a month away until the actual contest. So what are preparations? Are you going to be watching all the songs? You're going to have a watch party together? When do you travel over? What does the next few weeks look like?
I've watched everything once. And then we go over on the 7th.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we're flying from the same port or not at this point, but I think for me, it's like really deep diving into watching all the songs. Before I get there, I've been fully immersed in some other projects, so it's time to really start like narrowing my focus on Eurovision. But I don't want to have too much. Like I don't want to go too preconceived as well, because I want to have that moment, like those moments live, where I'm experiencing, it's like the perfect amount of prep where you still give yourself time to be wowed in the moment, I think. Yeah.
And I've been nerdy prepping. I've been on YouTube watching Eurovision fan content and hearing everybody's sort of dissertations on all the songs.
Yeah, Courtney has been sending me some of those unsolicited fan dissertations.
What was the one I saying the other day? It was about the country. Was it? No.
No, it was. Anyway,
He got second in the fan vote and third.
No, that's right. They didn't win the fan vote.
No, or the jury vote.
But they still got
through.
And I said they know where the bodies are buried.
Print.
Oh, from Serbia?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, well, they know where the bodies are buried.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well, indeed. Those national selections are really important. A bit like World Cup qualifying. I love it. Now, have you had any, sports reference? There we go. Have you had any tips, or you reached out to any of the other commentators like Joel, anyone else, to see, have they got any tips for you at all?
They just said, don't fuck it up.
Smith did give me some very, very lovely words of encouragement, passing the baton.
Liv's such an angel.
She is an angel. I will say Conchita Wurst has been in contact to platform Vienna. Actually, Conchita reached out to me when Milkshake got announced and was like, I'm loving Milkshake. And I actually hadn't seen the announcement yet, so I actually wasn't quite sure what she was talking about.
Milkshake Man is such a tune.
Yeah, then she said that she loved Austria's this year. And then I had listened to it. That was the second song that I had listened to, and I was like, that is a favorite of mine. It is a great song. And I said to her, can JJ. Yes, JJ. Can JJ do that live? And she said that he can. He's an amazing opera singer. And that techno drop.
Yeah, the techno drop towards the end is so good.
Yeah.
We were all like, it's like the throat singers, you know?
Yeah.
Look at you two are all over it already. I love it, and yes, one of the favourites to win the whole thing. Now, look, my final question for you is: has anyone prepared you for the Eurovision fandom? Now, look, Eurovision fans are the best fans in the whole world, but they're not shy of an opinion on everything and everyone associated with Eurovision, including commentary. Has anyone given you a preparation? Are you ready for that? The love and maybe some of the constructive criticism?
Well, I mean, both of us kind of live an existence where people have
lots of opinions,
have been very forthcoming in their opinions, good, bad, and indifferent. So this is no different, I don't think.
I actually, maybe I'm being naive. Hopefully not. But I feel like the Eurovision fandom, although opinionated, is more like on the constructive side. There's like much more of a supportive, sort of non-toxic fandom, which I really love. You know, I come from the drag race world, and back in season 6, it was, it's sort of some small factions of the fandom have become toxic, but Eurovision, I've just found a lot of love.
Oh, that's fantastic. No, we've got a lot of love for you too, and for you taking on this commentary duty. We're very excited about what you can bring to Basel for both of you. Very excited, and good luck over there in Basel. And we'll see you over there. We'll be there ourselves.
Be there, wonderful.
Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to meet you in person, Dale.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.